Hi friends, I'm Nargis. I'm really excited today to show you one of my interior design projects from 5 years ago. This is Michelle and Benny's A Small House. I'm just as excited about this design as I was 5 years ago. Please come on through. I would love to show you around. Welcome to Michelle and Benny's Small Kitchen. A lot of entertaining and cooking and hanging out happens here. What was really important while space planning and coming up with the interior design for this small kitchen was that the kitchen is timeless, is elegant, and it's easy to maintain and clean. And we've achieved just that. In a small kitchen, how you can achieve that is by a few strategies. One is to keep the finishes consistent. Second thing is to conceal as much as you can. Let me show you how. You may think this is just a normal drawer, but it's not. It is actually a dish drawer. A dish drawer is also a great space-saving solution. A traditional dishwasher door flips open and takes up a lot of floor space, but a dish drawer doesn't do that, so keep that in mind. Let me show you another space-saving solution. Typically in the kitchens, these lower corner cabinets go to waste. Nowadays, there are better options on the market where you could utilize all this space. For example, this sort of hydronic system where you can use, as you can see, I'm only pulling it out by 1 or 2 fingers. They're super heavy duty. You could use them as a pantry corner, or you can even put smaller appliances such as blenders on them. Let's take a couple of minutes and look through some space-saving elements and also some aesthetic choices we made in order to maximize this small kitchen. In order to create that sort of minimalist, timeless, simple, and clean look, we have eliminated the hardware cabinet pulls. We have overhung the cabinet doors by about 1 inch, so you can easily just use your fingers or any part of your hand to open that without having to get fingerprints on the cabinet front. Also, for the backsplash, instead of going with single individual tiles, creating a lot of grout and a lot of work to clean that, we have used custom cut back painted glass, which comes in 1 piece per wall. You can actually wipe it clean. If any spaghetti sauce or anything splashes on it, easily wipes off. And I personally like using it to put my grocery list or some notes and inspirational quotes on it, so that's really cute that way as well. Another thing I'd like to point out is we've used this Faber fan, which is very minimal and sits underneath the cabinet. Some homeowners like those sort of chimney style, more grand hood fans that have a presence. Here, again, to keep everything very minimal, we've used this Faber fan, which is very minimal and sits underneath the cabinet. Something else that's definitely worth talking about is pull-out pantries. They're great for any kitchen, but especially in a small space, they are really lifesavers. So they can come in custom heights and widths, and basically that's your pantry all the way. Comes out fully, and like every other drawer, is also a soft close. When space planning for Michelle and Benny's small home, it was really important to them to share this small home with their 2 teenage children at the time, and also with the idea of aging in place. So we designed a separate wing with 2 bedrooms, 1 on either side, and a bathroom with a stand-up shower for the children to use at the moment and for the future potential caretaker. And here's the mom and dad wing, separated from the main living area by a pocket door, the bedroom, the master ensuite, and we've tucked away the washer and dryer with a lot of storage. And as added bonus, we have the attic area accessed by a drop-down ladder for all those seasonal items that you just want to tuck away.
I love every part of my little house, and one of the things that you have to be mindful of when you live in a small space is you surround yourself with things you love. Like my cherished collection of vinyls many of which came from my childhood. And yes, relaxing in my living room and listening to an album is such a pleasure.
It's so amazing to come and see the space again and see that everything's still relevant and you're loving it and enjoying living in this space with your family.
I am so enjoying it, and I want to thank you for helping me to have this beautiful space. I wake up every morning so thrilled with it.
You're welcome. Yeah, it was a fun process, you know. First time I met you, I thought, wow, you know, this is going to be challenging but fun because, you know, you had opinions and you had strong ones, and my job is to take those and consider them, but also give you the best advice possible, especially when we're thinking of a small space design. It's a different way of thinking. I wanted to maximize this space and, you know, give you the best layout possible, your dream house, and work within your budget. But hey, it was a collaborative process.
It sure was. Yeah, and you made collaboration easy. Yeah, you're right. I do have some strong opinions, and especially when it comes to design and a place that I'm actually going to live in. And that made me a little bit nervous to work with a designer, because designers, I think, can be a little bit intimidating, but you have no intimidation factor. You're just the real deal, and you listened so beautifully. You just made the whole process easy and fun and stressless for me. So I really appreciated that.
That's really good to hear. What did you like the most about working together?
I think, well, first and foremost, I just really enjoyed your personality, and it felt really nice that we got along so well. I really enjoyed that you made it all so easy for me. Your guidance, you know, just made it a stressless process to create something wonderful. I mean, you did all the stuff that was really difficult, and you gave me all the fun things like choosing finishes and you know, running ideas by you. You took me out to showrooms to look at different appliances and things. You never made me feel rushed. You never made me feel like I had silly questions. You were just really gentle and patient and fun through the whole thing. So it was really it was an awesome process.
That's great to hear. Yeah, I had to put my foot down a couple of times.
True, your little tiny foot. Yeah, that's true. I think that there were a few things that I was really unsure about. Yeah. And you do seem really gentle to work with, but when the chips were down and decisions had to be made, you made them, and I trusted you. Yeah. And I'm glad that I did, because all the things that that I was uncertain about turned out well. There's nothing I'm unhappy with in this place.
That's good to hear, and thank you for sharing that with me. Do you say there's value in hiring an interior designer, just really candid and transparent? Someone, especially when it comes to small spaces, you know? I do get that question asked from prospects. You know, some people, they're working with a general contractor, and they, you know, everybody brings some ideas to the table, and some people have some good ideas. But how was your experience? Where do you see the value in that?
Oh boy, where to start? I'm someone with quite a strong design sense. I actually have a bit of a design background. I did graphics many moons ago in another life. But so I have an eye for things. And I think in some ways that makes it easier for me, but I think most people aren't like that. But I felt like I really benefited from having a designer, even though I have strong opinions about design. There's a lot of things that I don't consider, I don't think about. You just have a depth of experience that allows you to step in and guide someone when they might be going off on a tangent that you don't think is the right way to go. And a designer, I think, also really helps the project to be cohesive, because when you have a lot of different opinions and maybe there's different family members giving their opinion and the contractors giving their opinion, you can end up with a bit of a mishmash or like a hodgepodge. And the designer is the person who looks at all the variables and goes, okay, that's staying and that's staying and that's these go together well. This doesn't. It just really streamlines the process. And I think designers, interior designers, are well worth the cost, because I think that having a designer can actually save you some very costly mistakes. You don't want to have to go back and redo something after it's already been done. So I haven't had to worry about that here, because you helped me with all those things.
And planning your small home, your laneway house, was you were living with your 2 teenage children at the time. Speak to that with me a little bit. How did that work out? You were living in around 950 square feet, the small home. Yeah,
this home is about 950 square feet. We were actually, my family and I were living in this house on the property, and it's, the part of the house that we had lived in was 1,500. We also had access to the basement, but there were other people using it. We had homestay students. I didn't actually think it was going to be possible for a family of 4 to live in a laneway house. But the great planning of this space made it doable. We had to really do a big downsizing, go through a big downsizing process. The way this house is designed, there's kind of like a kid's side and a parent's side, and the living area is in the middle. And we actually had plenty of space once we got rid of all the unnecessary stuff. We made it work, and having the pocket doors so that the kids could have their privacy, and they have a bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and even a door that they could come and go from on that side was really a great way to have privacy. And we have the same thing on this side.
Right, and that was done purposefully. It was the whole point of the space planning, to make it work that way for your family. Do you see yourself living here for a long time?
You know what? I hope this is the last place I ever live. I don't want to leave it. I love it. And I always want to come back to it, even though I travel. It's so lovely to come home to a nice home. I'm happy for you. Thank you so much for welcoming me again. My pleasure. I hope you'll come back many times, and thank you for all your help in creating this. Of course. You're amazing.